Hello today, and we're going to take a look at an old, very old, vintage digital camera, the Kodak DC3400, and this is an American, come from America. This did. I acquired it. I won't go into the full story how I acquired it, but I acquired it, and somehow I brought it home with me. So this is the carry case it comes in. Very nice case indeed. Yeah, attachments here, or you can pick it up like that. Got a shoulder strap here. All sorts of compartments. So let's open up this compartment. The first thing we see is the user guide. So an illustration of how to use this camera. And I think this must be an early 2000 model, perhaps late 90s model. I do not know. I know it's pretty old, so I think it's definitely came. The first time I saw it was about 2001 or something like that, but this might be earlier than that. But this is the first time I actually saw this camera. So let's talking about the camera. Let's have a look. Let's pop it out of the bag. Here we go. As you can see, it looks very vintage. As for digital cameras, it looks like a traditional sort of camera. If you looked at it like that, you'd probably think it was an old traditional sort of camera. So we got our lens cap here, and look at that, 2 megapixels. Well, that tells you how old this is. I mean, we've got smartphones that, well, I think the minimum is 5 megapixel these days, probably more than that these days. I mean, my new Sony Xperia, I think it's a 24 megapixel. Could be wrong, but it's in the 20s somehow, somewhere. Yeah, so here we have a flash here. So a viewfinder, yes, a viewfinder. Something you don't find these days on cameras. I think that's the red eye detection there. So let's have a look around the side. As we can see, DC in. So you can got its own power supply if you want it. So here we have a video out. So you can connect it to your TV. Perhaps, I don't know if this can actually do video recording. Not sure, and that's what we use to connect to the PC via this plug, and the other end's a USB. And here, let's see how vintage this is. This is a memory card, a whopping 32 megabytes. This is a compact flash card. I'm not sure if anything uses these today. Who knows? But wow, it's quite big. So it's not an SD card, it's bigger than an SD card. But 32 megabytes. What can you do with 32 megabytes these days? Obviously not a lot. And that pops straight in there. Close that, and let's have a look at the back. So we see a little view screen. In there with buttons, and obviously when your menu comes up, you see all your on-screen things come up. And we have a little dial here, so you can capture, review what you've taken, connect. That obviously you connect to your PC. Obviously back then was probably Windows ME or XP, depending when this came out. And camera setup. Well, obviously sets up the camera. So you've got your power switch up here. Yeah. That's where you see a strap here. So let's have a look at the bottom. So you can see it can obviously go to on a tripod. You eject, so that ejects the compact card. And we open this door here. As we can see, it takes 4 AA batteries. Yes, 4 AA batteries. Wow. I think these things today, I don't know, I've not seen them modern, because obviously we all use our smartphones these days, but obviously the newish digital cameras, I think they might have the battery built in, or I don't know, they'll probably take maybe 2 AA batteries or AAA batteries these days. I don't know. Not seen one because obviously I'm not a photographer, so I honestly don't know what they do. So let's have a look at the top here. So we'll see a timer button. Well, what that does is that's obviously if you want to turn the flash on and off. You zoom, because it has a zoom. Yes, a zoom of autofocus times 2. Oh, times 2 zoom. Ooh. So, yes. As you can see, the lens specifications there. I believe this still works, but at the moment I do not have any AA batteries. Well, I do. Maybe I should have charged some up. I do have rechargeable AA batteries, but I haven't got none charged up at the moment. But I might save it for a later video and do some tests with it. So yeah, there's the camera. Wow. So this is vintage. So let's have a look what else is in the bag, shall we? We'll put that to one side. So here we are. We have the USB connector. So it was the what's this, the old plug system. So a USB 2.0, I guess, or is it 1? I don't know. It's very old. And here is the mains charger, which looks like a generic charger, but it's an American charger, as you can see by the 2 pins. And Radio Shack gives it away. Obviously we don't have Radio Shack in the UK. A digital camera power supply unit at 3.65 volts, 2.5 amps, and we have a switchable here. I dare to plug it in over here. And obviously you can get an adapter for it, but why would I want to plug it in? Might just go bang. So I think that's it. What's in the bag here? It did have some rechargeable batteries. I don't know, I think something happened with them. I don't think they work anymore, or I've got rid of them or thrown them away. But we have another compartment. And what do we have in this compartment? An Energizer battery charger. That's a nice little battery charger. As I say, once again, it's an American battery charger. Dare to use it over here. And what else do we have in here? It looks like another compact flash card. If I can get it out. It's coming. Come on. Here we go. A whopping 8 megabytes. 8 megabytes. Now, what can you do with 8 megabytes these days? Obviously not a lot. It's probably like using a floppy disk now. I do have floppy disks, but what can you do with floppy disks these days? Not a lot. Obviously, I don't know if there's any cool. I have got a facility I can use these cards. I have a card reader. It takes a multiple different cards, but what would I want to use it for? I mean, the good thing about camera phones today, you don't even have to take the card out. You can just connect it straight to your PC. So yeah. I mean, I would like to check it, see if it does work. I mean, for its time, I suppose this was a sophisticated piece of equipment for its day, like everything was. But for today, well, no, it just really isn't no calls for these things nowadays. I mean, your smartphone can do a lot better, take pictures, also do video recording. I obviously don't know if this can do video recording, but I can't imagine the quality being that brilliant, to be honest with you. But I mean, back in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s, obviously smartphones wasn't invented then. I mean, we had phones that could take pictures and do slight video recordings, but obviously back then the technology of mobile phones wasn't that great. I mean, this would have been much better to take photos with. Obviously, mobile phones back in the late 90s, early 2000s would not have no way had a 2 megapixel camera. No way. And well, right then I don't even think they was doing video recordings. I mean, if it was a late 90s model, no, because we still had monochromatic screen, so no, it wouldn't have, no, smartphones would not have been able to take photos or do video recordings, because it just basically was an old green screen thing. I mean, back in 1999, I believe I had an old Philips phone, and that couldn't do anything, just make calls and texts. And I had the 2000, I had the 7110, the Nokia Matrix phone. I know that only had a green screen. I think back the 2000 times, yeah. So this would have been a very, very sophisticated piece of equipment back in late 90s, early 2000s. So no smartphones would have had the capability of doing video recording or anything like that. I mean, back then they just had facilities just to go on the internet, which was a radical step back then. But times have moved on quite a bit. So obviously this is known as being vintage, because I don't think, I mean, this is not exactly, you don't want to carry this around in your, just say you're a woman or something, you don't really want to carry around this in your purse. I mean, it is quite weighty, to be honest with you. It's not lightweight or anything, it's not exactly compact like the modern cameras these days. So you would have felt it in your bag. I mean, obviously it's got a shoulder strap, so you carry it around, but I don't know, you wouldn't want to take it around with you doing selfies with this. Obviously selfies weren't a big thing back in them days, not like now, because we've got the sophisticated smartphones. But yeah, it's just good to see this again. I'm going to try it again once I charge some batteries up, just to see if it works. I mean, if it still works, great. Probably be a collector's item. Yeah, it's very retro. As I say, it looks like an old normal camera, something you just take quick snaps with. I can only imagine this must have been pretty dear back in the day. Obviously I don't know, it is an well, I know this particular one was bought in America, because I acquired it from America. But there you go. But yeah, it's good to see it again. Anyway, I'm going to end this now. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, and goodbye.